Hello and welcome to episode 6 of Building My First Model Railway. So this week I've been having some dilemmas about trying to do some of the scenery and roads and buildings and that. So I always planned to have a bridge that could lead down into the station, but actually when I put it and laid it out, and I laid it out previously just in cardboard and it was fine, but when you actually start to build the structures, I've realised everything's a bit bigger. So first of all, I wanted to get the bridge sorted because I'd done my Scenics, which the hedging and that, which I did on a previous video, but couldn't really progress it any further until I got the bridge in place, and then I can then start building up the hills and banking around it. So I was looking online for a bridge, and it needed to be a double line bridge and on a curve. So I was hunting around and I saw this cardboard Metcalf, which is actually not a bridge, but it's tunnel entrance. We've got the card here. So this is it, and that's what it should be. It's a double track tunnel entrance kit, and it's the first one I've done, so that was quite fun. I enjoyed that. But I had to do a bit of kit bashing, I think they call it, basically trying to chop the kit around a bit to fit my needs. Luckily, the actual portal and the width of the portal was pretty much perfect, so I haven't actually had to make that any bigger. It's pretty much the size I wanted. I bought a few little cars. There's a little Fiesta there, takes me back to my youth, and that's yeah, it's a bit tight, but that's, you know, for a little country bridge, I think that'll do fine. So the width was fine. The tunnel entrance, so when I put it on here, because it's first and second radius curves there doesn't allow a lot of clearance, so I had to cut the bridge portal, the bridge opening, a lot wider. I think you can see there where the stonework would normally carry on down, and I had to cut it back and make it wider, so the clearance, I can just about get the coaches under there now, and that's probably the best position. I've moved it about a bit, and as you can see, the plan is to have the road sort of going off, and I wanted it to go to the left there because then I can build the bank up, put some trees, and it's not obvious that the road's sort of just going into nowhere. So that will hide that a little bit. So that's the plan there. And then to come down and then to access the front of the station, and then to have a small sort of works only crossing there that can bring it around into the shunting yard. And then I'll have a coal depot here, and you've got the loco there and that. So a bit of a goods area in this area you can access via that. It's not ideal because normally you'd have a car park or somewhere to turn around here, but I just can't fit that in. And I had this old Hornby platform, which is about the right size there, so I was quite happy with that, but it needs to be slightly wider or have some steps onto the front, because again I've got this plastic station kit, and it's very reminiscent of the one at Chapel, which is why I chose this one. But it's slightly wider there, and you can see that it's just about the right overhang on the platform there, but I'm going to need to make some steps on the front, and then that's going to be quite tight to the road. So a few dilemmas there. I was thinking about sort of use this cardboard cutout here just to try and map out what it's going to look like. And again, here it's going to be quite tight where I put this point and trying to get a bit of a bank. So I think we'll have to relocate that to this side here, and then just try and bank it up and make a bit of almost a cutting there. And then obviously do that all the way around here and then up here. And the same that side, to have a bit of a bank that cuts down. Over there will be fine. But yeah, it's going to be quite a squeeze to get it in, but without doing it, then I've got no road, no access to the station, which just isn't unrealistic completely. I was thinking that maybe I could raise this road up and actually have the road at the same level as the platform, and then just have maybe a path and fencing, and that way at least it hasn't got to drop down as much. So that's what I'm toying with at the moment. But then of course I'm going to need to have some ramp or something to get you down across there at the actual end to access the goods yard and the coal sheds and that. So yeah, if anyone's got any ideas, any suggestions, then really am looking for some inspiration at the moment about how I can achieve it. I was thinking of putting the bridge over this side instead, but again, it just doesn't fit. It's just too tight. I think it is my first railway, and I suppose what I focused on so much was getting all the track down, getting it all running, getting it perfectly, in position and perfect, which is, probably the most important part for running your trains. But I hadn't really, in that process, being a complete novice, I hadn't really thought too much about the Scenics. I had a rough idea that I wanted a bridge and a station here, but I hadn't really thought about, exactly how I'd do that. And of course now it's all in position and not easy to move at all. I'm having to try and make the surroundings fit the railway. And I'm not sure if that's the best way. I'm not sure if, I see some people start doing the Scenics and then build the railway on it or around it and expand it. But of course the advantage of now is I can run trains around and do shunting and everything, and without having to worry about having pressure on to finish the Scenics and the buildings. But a few dilemmas there. So yeah, any suggestions really am looking for some inspiration and help at the moment. But I'll have a play around a bit more and update you as I go along. Hello, I thought I'd give you a quick update. Sorry about the noise. I've got my little Cast 20 Whiskey Galore DCC running in the background. But I've just been playing around with the layout, as discussed earlier, to try and make it all fit. So I'm using a bit of this packaging again from HelloFresh to try and create a bit of a hillside and just give the effect. It's like a winter wonderland, isn't it? You can see there the aim is to get the road to go over and then build up some trees and banks here and that, so it sort of vanishes into the corner, and to hide the cable for the LED lights as well. And then to have a bank here so that the road can come down. So I'm definitely going to have to move that point because it's just too close to build a steep bank there. Just film the last 20 going through the tunnel. And then I'm going to, I think, raise the whole level here. I might actually build a complete new platform and arrivals parking bit, maybe just to the right hand side here to take a little bit off and keep that up high, because that way it doesn't have to drop down as much. And then I'll have to have a small little sort of ramp at the end here to come across, and then it'll come down the back to the goods yard. So I think that's about as good as I can get it. The tunnel, as you saw, works there. And actually some price night shots you can get from the road and the tunnel. And perhaps even up from the station. So yeah, it's not going to be perfect. I'm trying to squeeze a lot in on a small sort of 3 foot wide board. I think that's about the best I can do. It's just now going to have to learn how to do hills and that, and just build it all in. So again, welcome any suggestions anyone has on this idea, and or if you've got any other ideas or how best I can do it. So just a short video this time. Got quite a lot of scenic building to do, and then I can finish off the ballasting here as well. So thanks very much for watching. If you want to see more, please subscribe, and I'll speak to you again in a week or two.